Hi, everybody. Jim Phillips here, life strategist and author of The Key to Life, Living in Full Expression. I have to say, every time I say that, I have to kind of step back a little bit because when I say I am a life strategist and I've written The Key to Life or the author of The Key to Life, Living in Full Expression, that's not who I am, but that's the way it comes across. I am a life strategist. I am the author. That's just things that I do or things that I have done. It doesn't mean that's who I am. Who I am is how I express that, how I experience it, how I interact and engage with everyone that I have the wonderful opportunity to engage with. However, this video isn't about that. I had an experience this morning when I was doing my meditating, and I typically do a walking meditation when I take my early morning walks, but this morning it was too cold out, a little bit windy, so I decided to just take that quiet time here in my house. I have an area upstairs that's a loft area that's very quiet, very comfortable, very cozy, if you will. And it's where I do my morning meditation and morning work if I don't go outside and take that morning walk. So what I do is I get quiet and I connect, and I always ask questions. And when I ask questions, I invariably get answers. And the answers to me are always very profound. They're always specific to me, but then can be applied to the world or humanity as a whole, because there isn't anything that I receive that would be applicable to me that's not applicable to everybody else. Maybe not everybody's in the same set of circumstances that I am, but it doesn't mean the information isn't just as valid. I'm sure you've been to a program before where somebody else has asked a question and the answer was specific to them, and maybe you had not thought about it, but whatever the answer was, you resonated with, and you knew that that was something you could take and benefit from and put in practice so that you were living that type of a life or experiencing whatever that was. So this morning when I was doing my meditating, I was in my meditation, and I was asking for guidance, and it was really just guidance about what's going on right now, what I can do, what we are to do, how we can move through this experience that we're having. And as I started to receive the information, the answers to that, and it was very good information. It was a lot of the things I've already shared. And if I can, I'll get to that in a minute, but that's not really the point of me sharing with you what I want to share. It's a totally different message that I believe was the message I was to receive from that guidance, and not so much the guidance specific to what's happening right now and what we can do and how we can move through the challenges that we're all faced with right now. But as I was going through that process and I was listening to it, what dawned on me was that it sounded like me talking to me. And it is a thought that I've had before. And I think many people who start to meditate, they have that same thought and that same question. They say, well, how do I know this is not just me speaking to me, and that I'm not really getting guidance from some higher entity or some higher source? That, you know, the answers seem to be the answers that I'm looking for, the answers that I want, but it's like I'm answering those questions for myself. So I started thinking about that. And then when that thought went through my mind, the guidance I got around that was, well, what difference does it make? What difference does it make if the guidance you're being given is coming from that higher source, or that outside source, if you will, that higher source, or if it actually is you answering the question for yourself? Why does it really matter? Are you placing more importance on the fact, or am I placing more importance on the fact that I believe this information is being given to me by a higher source than if I were telling myself that? And it's the same information. The way that I was reflecting on this after I had finished with my meditation was, it's interesting to me because we all have limiting thoughts and beliefs. Ideally, we learn to let go of them and not let them control who we are, what we do, how we think, and what actions that we take, or what beliefs that we hold. But we pay attention to that voice, and that is us telling us we can't do certain things because of whatever those limiting thoughts and beliefs might be, or that we're not good enough, somebody else is better, this is for other people to experience and express, or whatever the case may be. That is a voice that we listen to all the time. So why is it we listen to that voice? That voice that would tell us that we're not good enough, that we don't have what we need, but yet we're unwilling to listen to the voice that appears to be the same voice that is saying, You are everything you need. You have everything you need. You can achieve anything that you want to achieve, and giving us that very supportive, beneficial, uplifting advice that we're seeking. So I'm going to go back to my meditation. So while I was sitting there and while that was going through my mind, and I'm having this thought over top of the information I was receiving about, well, why do I place more importance on the belief that it is from a higher source than it would be coming from me? And then the thought went from that to trusting myself. And that's really what this is about. It is about trusting ourselves, knowing that we do have the answers. We do know what's in our own best interest. We do know what we want out of life. And yet we're the ones who are here in physical form, making the choices that we make, taking the steps that we take, the action that we take, which results in the consequences of that. And yet we're in control of that. We're in control of that based on what it is that we want to do or achieve or accomplish or experience or express. And if we make choices in alignment with that, we're going to have a greater potential for that experience to be the experience that we have. So if I'm asking for guidance from a higher source, and it's giving me the answer to whatever it is that I've requested or I want, and it's very beneficial, very supportive, very uplifting, if it feels good, and it really seems more like confirmation of what I've already thought or what I already believe or the direction I already want to head in, or what I've already decided that it's what I want to experience, why don't I just trust myself with that? Why can't I just ask myself that question without having to go into meditation to ask those questions and get that response? So the point of all this is, we do have our own answers. We do know what we want, but we do need to have that self-reflection. We do have to go within ourselves to make that determination, to make the determination, number one, of what is it we want out of life? How do we want to experience and express life? We then have to go within and say, well, what does that look like? What more specifically, what does that feel like? And what is it that I need to do or be that would allow that to be the experience that I have? And trust it. Trust what comes up. Even if you don't feel you're connecting to some higher source, trust what comes up for you, because that is your higher self. That is that higher guidance that we all have within us. In fact, in my belief, that is us, that would allow us to be able to discern and make the best decisions for ourselves. And anytime we make the decision that's best for ourselves, and I'm talking about the highest decision, I'm talking about from the heart, soul-based decisions, it will always be in the highest and best interest for everyone else around us. Always. There isn't any deviation from that. Now, when I was finishing my meditation, one of the things that came to mind, and I'm going to just explain it the way that it came out, and I don't want anybody to misunderstand or misinterpret what was said to me or what I received, because it isn't about me feeling or being told that I am any better than anybody else. This, to me, whenever I receive this information, it is about humanity as a whole, even though it was coming to me as a result of a question that I asked. And so I asked the question, I said, well, why is it that I pay more attention to, or perhaps have the propensity to pay more attention to what I believe is coming from a higher source than when I have those answers and those thoughts myself that tend to be reinforced by the information I'm getting from that higher source? And the response that I immediately got was, we are the same. We are the same. You and I, you and we are the same. And when I say we, I'm talking about if there is a multiple sources of information coming in, or the information is coming in from multiple sources, multiple entities from the higher spiritual plane, that we are one, that you are us and we are you. And I thought that was really profound, because that really gets to the whole idea that so many people talk about, as there is only one, that we are all part of the one. We are all part of the all that is. And this just, to me, was confirmation of that. So what I would encourage you to do, invite you to do, is, number one, spend quiet time. Allow yourself to have those quiet moments. and meditate. And whether you feel like you're meditating or not, whether you feel like you're getting out of it what you perceive people to be getting out of meditation, it really is about you connecting with you connecting with your higher self and that higher source, asking questions, receiving it, not judging it, but receiving it, allowing it to take hold, really accepting and then making decisions against it. It'll always be in support of who it is you desire to be, who it is you truly are, and what it is you truly desire to experience and express in this world. So let that be the guidance. But trust in life, trust in yourself, trust in the guidance you get from the higher source, and also trust that we are all one. I hope you find benefit from this message today. I look forward to continuing to share with you what I get as I go through my daily meditations and just my interactions with other people. You can always find more information about me and my work at my website, livinginfullexpression.com. And if you want to contact me directly, you can do it through the website, or you can just send me a quick email at jim@livinginfullexpression.com. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you giving me this few minutes of your time to just share with you this experience that I had. Have an incredible day. Be well. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.